today we are talking about the skills that you need to possess in order to be a very good editor. All the points we are going to be talking about here are more geared towards an editor as a human being and not necessarily the technical aspects of editing, probably maybe when to cut, when not to cut. No, that is not what this video is about. We are going to be talking about the skills that is going to get you hired as an editor. So we're looking at it from a human perspective. So guys, the first skill you need in order to become a very successful editor is to be someone who has learned to put your ego at the door before you enter into the editing room. A lot of editors get into heated arguments with directors, and trust me, this isn't going to get you hired the next time the person has a project, because at the end of the day, you need to know that it's a collaborative process. And so don't emotionally attach yourself to anything within the film, so that you don't become an ardent proponent of a certain scene or of a certain shot that you push it so much that even when the director wants you to take out that particular shot, you don't even feel like doing that, or you don't want to do that. Trust me, this is a bad habit and you need to get rid of it if you really want to become a successful editor. So be much more accommodative and know when to challenge your director and when not to challenge. Probably I would not even use the word challenge in this particular situation, because you only need to talk your way through. So embrace yourself with editing room politics, build a rapport with the director, and use that to your advantage. Kindly take note of this and don't become a victim. The next thing you mustn't do, and it's a skill that you have to possess, is to not talk bad about your previous projects. A lot of editors get clients and they don't end up well on their previous projects. So when they meet a new client and they begin to have conversations, unconsciously or sometimes just willingly, they do tell them about the problem they had or probably how bad their previous client was. Please stop this. Trust me, if you really want to get hired as an editor, you really need to stop it. No matter how your relationship went with your previous client, never talk bad about them to your new client. This is so important and will go a very long way to help your career as an editor. The next point I am going to be talking about is to generally be a nice person. Being a nice person is certainly going to lead to you building on good relationships. Most of my clients at the end of the year or probably by Christmas, I do send gift cards or I just meet up randomly for conversations. And trust me, even when I don't know that such people have projects, probably just even picking up a phone to call someone or probably just sending a mail, "Hi, how are you doing?" Or just checking up on the person in a particular company can get you another big job, because the next time the person has a project or the next time there is a project in that particular company where the person works for, you are the first person who is certainly going to come to mind when there is a project or when they need an editor. Straight off the bat, he's going to be like, "Oh, I know this cool guy somewhere who does this," or "I know this guy, he's really cool and he's really good at what he does. We can really get to him and put him on the project." If you really want to survive in this industry, you need to realize that in most cases, when a director hires you or puts you on a project, he or she is going to spend so many months in the dark room, just the both of you doing your cuts. So generally, it has more to do than just your skills as an editor. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this video isn't directed to tell you when to cut and not when to cut, or which software to use and which software not to use. So regardless of whether you know how to use which software or whether you are equipped with all your technical know-how as an editor, these particular tips, you need them as a human being in order to get hired. Because like I said, the director can spend all this number of weeks or this number of months in a room with someone that he or she can communicate to. So try as much as possible to be a very cool person to be around. And trust me, that is going to get you hired as an editor. The next point is you need to be open-minded and broaden your horizon. Now, I see a lot of filmmakers, or let me say, I see a lot of video editors spending almost all their time in the editing room. I know this is difficult, but as much as possible, anything you learn as a film editor would really come in handy at the editing bench. For example, if you go to the bus stop and you just watch how things unfold, the next time you are editing such a scene or the next time you are editing something that has to do with such a thing, you know how to really approach it. It's just like how mostly actors do it where they go to places and they just observe what is going on. That is a skill an editor also has to possess. You need to be someone who listens to a lot of conversations. You need to be someone who observes a lot of things. And so partaking in certain things will help put you at better positions. So for example, you go there playing football, just join. Even involving in that particular game could go a long way in helping the way you pace a particular edit anytime it comes across. Be open-minded and partake in things and learn every available thing, because you never know when something would come in handy. If I use myself for example, I ever got hired on a particular project because I speak another local language within the area. And one of the criteria set by the client was that the editor should speak or should be able to understand the language of that particular area. How did I get to learn this particular language? When I was growing up, I had friends from that particular region in Ghana, and we lived in the same area, but just because we were friends and we used to interact, I was able to learn that language. And lo and behold, 20 years later, it paid off, because that was one of the prerequisites that got me hired. So just look at the long run, or think of the long run, or think of the bigger picture. Anything that you're doing at this particular moment, always do it for the future. It's been me, OBL Jr. on this channel, guys. If you got a ton of information out of this video, kindly click on the like button. And if you're new to the channel, kindly click on the subscribe button and hit on the notification icon so that you get notified anytime we drop a new video on this particular platform. If you have any further questions, guys, you can leave them in the comment section below, or you can also DM me your questions on Instagram at OBL_Jr. and I will gladly respond to all your messages. And like we do it always on this Africa Amaze channel, guys, keep practicing filmmaking. Peace out.